Home-based care work is crucial and it's a growing element of economies across the world. How we care for our children, how we care for the elderly is more and more important, and to have proper standards of care we need proper protection for care workers. But there's growing evidence of violence and abuse in that sector. It's absolutely crucial that we find the ways to protect women in particular from those forms of violence and abuse at work.
It's not the work itself that's unacceptable, and most home care workers are fiercely proud of the work that they do. But unacceptability is really produced by employment regulation. For example, travel time between clients hasn't been counted as work, and often now the time that's allocated, for example, to give someone a shower isn't enough. That can produce situations where the service user may feel violated. This work is very lowly paid. There's a real problem though with getting enough hours of work and having predictable hours of work.
The work that we've done in Victoria and Australia shows that over 64% of women have experienced gendered violence at work. It's generally, if it is dealt with, it's dealt with on an individual basis. So individual women making individual complaints, usually highly confidential, through systems that don't allow us to identify the systemic causes and the systemic solutions.
We know that minimum wage underpayment is very prevalent within the home care sector. We also know that 0 hours and insecure contracts are the type of contracts that most people who are employed in home care are employed on. The majority of workers are women. It's the most highly gender segregated occupation in the UK. The sector has actually got also the highest labour turnover of any sector in the UK economy. So there's some really significant structural problems with the way that the sector's been organised and the way it's fragmented. Gender-based violence is an issue within the sector which has arisen particularly post-privatisation and in relation to poor labour standards in the sector. Whoever is experiencing the violence at work, gender-based violence at work, is connected to high levels of stress, lack of respect at work, insecurity, low pay. And it's very important that we establish that conditions of care are conditions of work, and that the interests of older and disabled people and the care workers who look after them are shared.